Hey, I'm Cameron McKenzie, and I want to quickly show you how to generate SSH keys for Git that you can use with GitHub, GitLab, BitBucket, and any vendor that provides a Git-based version control system. Now, before you go around generating SSH keys, you might want to just make sure you don't have some already. SSH keys have to be kept in the .ssh folder of the currently logged in user. I'm logged in as owner, as you can see in my SSH folder. I've got none. I've also got a little Ubuntu instance here, and you can see there's the .ssh folder. If you're on Ubuntu, a little ls command brings up nothing there as well. So I am definitely in a SSH key deficit. You want to generate some? I'll open up DOS, maybe PowerShell. PowerShell has a bunch of SSH utilities built into it now, so just use one of them. It's called SSH Keygen, and you say SSH Keygen -O. This forces the latest version of Open SSH to be used. You say -T RSA, so it's an RSA key that's created. And you can even do a little -C command and add in a comment. So I'll add in my email address. I'm about to click enter. Keep your eyes on the .ssh folder. Don't take them off there, because after I click enter here to put them in the .ssh folder and enter in an empty passphrase, you'll notice that, boom, we get two files over here, and that is my RSA keys, the primary key, not primary key, it's not databases here, it's the public key.pub, and it's the private key right there. And notice we also get some beautiful random art there to make us feel good about ourselves. Now, I'm going to put these into GitHub, GitLab, BitBucket, show you where it goes in just a second, but I just thought I'd show you, it's the exact same command, SSH Keygen -O -T RSA -C, mail@mcnz.com, over there on Ubuntu. It's the exact same steps. Maybe we get a little different art there, but you can see if I do the ls command here, well, those two files are created. It's the same ones that I created on Windows. So there you go. That's how easy it is to generate SSH keys. But how do you use them? Well, here's what you've got to do. You got to keep your private key, well, private. Don't let anybody see your privates. But you got to open up your public key. I'm going to do this with the key on Windows here. That is my public key. There's a little comment that I put in there, my email address, and I'm going to copy this thing. And you take the public key and you copy it over into your version control provider. Mine's Git, one of mine's GitHub. So if you're using GitHub, let's just head over there, go to settings, click on SSH and GPG keys. Say you want to create a new SSH key and just paste that in, my SSH key. Add the key, and you're good. I think I'm going to put my password in here now. But everything's good. That SSH key is now created. There it is. And it's the exact same thing on GitLab. It's just different. You go to Preferences, and over on Preferences, it's SSH key. You paste your key in there. The comment that you had automatically goes in as the title. Here they want an expiry date, which is nice and secure, and you click Add Key, and boom, your key is now added. Look at that. If I look at SSH keys now, I've got that SSH key downloaded right there. And I mean, I could do this all day. Here's BitBucket. I can go to personal settings, SSH keys, add that key, and boom, I've got another key added in here. I've got keys all over the Git remote repository landscape. But that's the point. You just create these keys. It doesn't matter whether it's on Ubuntu or whether it's on Windows, it's the same command. And you just go to your repository of choice and add that key in. Now, once you've done that, you'll probably want to clone a repository. I got some fantastic repositories over here. I wouldn't mind cloning maybe my rock, paper, scissors repository. So you come over here, and there's a beautiful green button here for code. And you'll notice that it's got an HTTPS link, an SSH link, and a GitHub CLI link. You want the SSH one. You just configured SSH. Of course, that's the one that you want. So you copy that URL. And it's the same thing over on GitLab. If you can find your projects, you can come over here and there's like the clone and there's the SSH link for that. And over on BitBucket, it's the same thing. If I look at my repositories here, there's learn BitBucket fast. And then over here, I think it's a little bit, there's the clone and you can copy that SSH command. So that's where all that information is. You just copy it and then you come over back to your operating system. Doesn't matter if it's Ubuntu, doesn't matter if it is over on Ubuntu, doesn't matter if it's Windows. Here I am. I just want to clone that directory. So I say git clone, not directory, repository. And it says git at github.com. That's the SSH URL. I click enter and it clones without a problem. Well, I'm lying about the no problem thing. You can see that there's a little bit of problem. It's saying, hey, I can't authenticate this key against some third-party certificate tool. Are you sure it's the real deal? And it's like, yeah, I created it. It's the real deal. So I just type in yes. And then boom, all of a sudden we get Git cloning using the SSH link from the SSH key that I generated with the utility earlier and pasted over into GitHub. And it's bringing all of the stuff down locally. And there you go. It's done. If I do an ls command here, you can see that rock, paper, scissors project is created. If I do cd rockstar, because I am a rock star, it takes me in there and little ls command shows me all these files, game, Jenkins, Palm, Rico, scripted. And if I was to come over here, well, you see those files over here. So, I mean, I don't know, what more proof do you need about how easy it is to generate an SSH file, whether you're on Windows or Ubuntu, and configure it over in GitHub or GitLab or BitBucket? I mean, it really couldn't be easier. Oh, and one other thing to note, at this point, once you've done the clone, you can just do the rest of your Git operations all day long, do commits, do adds. The next time you push, pull, fetch, perform any operation with the repository, it's all done over SSH. It's a one-time setup, works nicely until your key expires or somebody messes up your configuration. But otherwise, just keep using Git as usual. And there you go. That's how easy it is to generate SSH keys for Git that you can use with GitHub, GitLab, BitBucket, or any other vendor out there. Now, if you enjoyed that tutorial, why don't you head over to theserverside.com? I'm the editor-in-chief over there. We've got some great articles on Git, GitHub, GitLab, BitBucket, DevOps tools, you name it. Also, if you want to follow my personal antics, you can always follow me on Twitter at CameronMCNZ. And I would ask you to also, why don't you subscribe on the YouTube?